Nvda 666, guys. That's the title of the video. Basically, to capture your attention so you would understand there's a big collapse in the making. In order to actually trade Nvda profitably, you would not necessarily trade Nvda shares. You would not trade Nvda puts or calls because there's way better trades in the making. Let's glance overall what's happening with the indexes to bring some light to the picture. Nvda 666. How low will the market collapse after? Look, Nasdaq is already 6, so we're looking at February 21st, 1 p.m. Before the Federal Minutes Review coming out at 2 o'clock. And then we've got Nvidia earnings right after 4 p.m. So already the index is very, very sick, but it's about to be like COVID sick over the course of next 72 hours. So what you've got is a major double top formation. You've got major bearish pattern, which we call bear divergence between the RSI and the price action of this beautiful index. You've got a major bear crossover right here on the MACD. You got accumulation at the fucking top, which is beautiful because a lot of people could be selling. And the way to trade this, guys, it's not actually Nasdaq. The way you would actually trade the most magnificent trades of all is going to take place between 4 and 4:15 p.m. tonight. Yes. And how would you trade that when the market is closed, guys? I will reveal that to you if you contact a 13 Market Moves coach before the market is closed today, because this is potentially a 30x trade. Now, you're going to say, Leo, but this 30x trade you're talking about, man, that's nothing compared to the 105x trade you guys landed on PANW puts. Yes, so I'm conservatively estimating this one trade, which you can trade utilizing options between a time frame of 4 p.m. and 4:15 p.m. I'm conservatively calling it a 30x trade. There is a potential for a 150x trade within that. But just focusing on this chart, guys, it's a bear. And I think we're going to get a major bear move expansion to the downside, which will commence tonight, and it could continue over the course of the next few trading days. We can get literally a flash crash in Nasdaq after Nvidia earnings, which we don't know when the selling will subside, because the most logical thing is to stay away out of trading Nvidia shares until the selling dies out. And there's gonna be selling. We already know there's gonna be selling because look, we've already seen some inclination of selling on stocks like SMCI. All right, whoa, shit, 1,080 to 723 today. Now again, SMCI is also not a way to trade it, but just for the sake of looking at the chart, you got a bear crossover on MACD that's taking place today. People sold some, bought a little bit, but that's a lower high on the accumulation distribution. So there's going to be more sellers in this name, but the options are way overpriced. As a trader, you've got to figure out in which part of the market the options are underpriced, because essentially how much you make as a trader determined by how much you pay and how much you sell the shit for. So whether you buy calls, puts, doesn't matter, okay? It's always about how much did you pay for them versus how much did you sell them for. Okay, that's how you make a profit. So right now, options and SMCI they're overpriced. Options on Nvidia, they're overpriced. So there's other areas on how you could put together a correlation trade to where you could potentially make 30x to 150x after market closes today. Now, this trade could begin rolling over as early as 2 p.m. So guys, don't wait too long to call us here at 13 Market Moves. Go to 13mmtv.com and click the big orange button. Now, SMCI is down quite a bit since we nailed the top, but let's take a look at Nvidia, since the title of the video is about Nvidia. So it currently trades at 671. It dipped to 666 at one point. I think it even went slightly below that, like 665. And I'm recording that at 1 p.m. So, I mean, to no surprise, Nvidia could still drop maybe to 650, 660. by the time it actually goes into the earnings announcement, which we indicated yesterday. As far as the Nvda chart, I mean, clearly some selling going into the earnings report, and oftentimes this would be interpreted as with many market participants, well, hey, Nvidia sold off going into the earnings report compared to last week, right, where nobody could see the stock do anything around 750. Now we're 671, potentially 660, even 650 by 4 p.m. in the next few hours here. So potentially a 100-point drop in Nvidia before it even goes into the earnings report. So many could say, well, hey, we already got the dip, so now that the earnings, we all know the earnings are going to be good, let's go ahead and fucking buy it, okay? But I think so many people will use the volume to actually liquidate the shares. We can easily get a flash crash in Nvidia to like fucking 550 temporarily, like briefly. I'm not gonna say it's gonna stay there at 550 for like even an hour. I mean, once the selling subsides, we could see a rather sharp move to the upside. But I think everyone will click the sell button first. Okay, so we can get a sharp move lower, followed by a sharp move higher. And all you need sometimes is just a window of 15 minutes as a trader, if you're trading the right instrument, to capture a 30 to 150x trade. But let's say you're like, Leo, I'm not fast enough. I'm not like, man, I'm not fast enough like you. I'm not fast enough like your coaches at 13 Market Moves. I'm not fast enough. Like, I'm the slowest student you probably got. Leo, what can I do? Well, the easiest thing to do, as you know, is a move two. You short the fucking bounce, okay? But in this type of conditions, in market conditions, in some stocks, there may not be even a bounce. So a much better strategy would be to buy some options that are expiring in tomorrow expiration, Friday expiration, Monday expiration, and wait for a much bigger move to develop. So with that said, let's take a look at S&P, which represents basically the overall market. And guys, it's synonymous, right? Everything we look at, everything is synonymous here. SMCI chart kind of points to the overall magnitude of what could be happening to the market over the course of next 48 hours here, 48 to 72 hours, major collapse. But what's happening now on S&P is the same thing I've just pointed out on the chart of Nvda, the same thing I've pointed out on the chart of NASDAQ index overall. It's a double top with major bear divergences on RSI versus the price action. You've got a bear cross already happened on MACD, and you still got the whole world that can fucking sell. I mean, what better conditions can you wish for as a short seller? Now, the only thing at this point you need to know is how the fuck to trade this. Because most of you will just go buy fucking puts in Nvidia, okay? And for a moment it's gonna look like, oh my God, Leo, you were right, it's fucking dropping. And then tomorrow morning you're gonna wake up and the stock is gonna be up and you're like, well, fuck, why did I buy those puts? So the trade is not just simply buying Nvidia puts, okay? As a matter of fact, you know, Nvidia 666 points to the fact that the market will collapse the fuck out, and there's chances that Nvidia will drop nicely, but they're gonna buy it up. They're gonna buy the fucking dip. But what's gonna happen to the rest of the market sectors is where the overlooked, mispriced opportunity is. And if you want to know, guys, what that is, you go to 13mmtv.com, okay, you click the big orange button, and dare to take this trade with a 13 Market Moves coach. So charts, bearish double top formation across the board, bear divergences, bear crossovers on the MACD in a situation where the whole world can still unload. Okay, guys, it's a beautiful setup. Don't miss it. Trade it with the 13 Market Moves coach. Let's roll.